Welcome to Lost Glider. It's another CoH2 replay cast. It's gonna be between Spin Flight, playing as British, and Long Bill, playing as the OKW. Now, Lost Glider was a new map added this last patch, as we have a brand carrier already coming out with the British. And I don't really like it too much. It's a 1v1 map, of course. There's just this big graveyard in the center with the church, and it's kind of really filled with heavy cover pretty much everywhere. There's a cutoff over here and another cutoff over here, with the two fuel points, of course, being the points that would be cut off. And yeah, it feels weird. I don't really enjoy it too much. There's a lot of buildings and a lot of open areas on the flanks, but I just cannot seem to enjoy it too much. So we do have the Kubu-Wagen. We'll see how well it can cap around the map. This is definitely a map where the Kubu-Wagen can shine. There's lots of open ground, not much to stop the Kubu-Wagen from being really quickly, going around the map really quickly, and just taking all the points, because this map is really it's really got some treacherous map control issues that you need to sort out in order to win. So it looks like the British went for a universal carrier to counter the Kubu-Wagen, possibly. It will, looks like, find the Kubu-Wagen and start shooting it in the back. So we do have some decent damage coming in, but the Kubu-Wagen could have actually just stayed and capped and then retreated, but it decided to not do that, which is a mistake. It should have stayed in the capture circle and finished off the cap. Now, the brand carrier cannot cap, so it really shouldn't be standing here. It should be moving around the map, chasing around the Kubu-Wagen, possibly helping deal with the Stern Pioneers in the early game. We also have a Vickers MG coming out early on enough so that it will be useful against any kind of German infantry. It is important on this map to get suppression because of the very long range engagements. Looks like the infantry sections are actually making a mistake by going way too close against these Volksgrenadiers. Looks like they will try to get the house, but they will be surprised by these Storm Pioneers. The Storm Pioneers, unfortunately, aren't being used correctly. They should have actually been pushed right up to the house to start doing some damage, but it looks like the infantry section will go down anyway from the combined fire of the 3 German units that are shooting at them, and if they don't retreat quickly enough, they will probably perish. The Storm Pioneers, though, were actually picked off quite effectively by the one guy shooting out of the window. So, and actually a second infantry section coming in from the south, helping out. This brand carrier is still here. I don't think he realized that he cannot cap, which is a problem. If the brand carrier had been on this fight in the left, it would have definitely helped out the British immensely. Maybe not made them win the engagement, but it would have definitely helped. We do have the Volksgrenadiers allowing themselves to get some heavy cover, along with the other Volksgrenadier squad. They're covering for the Kubu-Wagen, which is capping the victory point. And the Germans right now have complete map, well, not complete map control because they still don't have the fuel point, but they are starting to gain some good map control. The MG is on the field and is starting to shoot, but on the squad that is in heavy cover, that will mean that the other squad, which is in light cover and would have been suppressed by the burst, is able to push up and possibly flank the Vickers MG. Now, that was a mistake. He should have targeted the squad that was in light cover, and that will lead to his MG being forced away. So the Germans winning the engagement fairly decisively. They will be able to establish control of their fuel point, and at least for a while hold it, because it looks like the British still don't have tier 1. So that means that they cannot upgrade medical supplies, and their units, which are very, very low on HP, will suffer in these engagements. Yep, it looks like the Kubu-Wagen is going to be able to cap the fuel point, and on the other side, we do have counter push from the Germans finally being able to put in some kind of pressure against this universal carrier, but it looks like the universal carrier will be able to force away the Volksgrenadiers, possibly even before they manage to capture the point. For some reason, they are not finishing to capture the point and going to cover, which is a bad idea. They should have walked away into the back of the point and just capped it like that. So we do have the battle group headquarters coming in the base. Now, there would have been a pretty safe battle group's headquarters location about here. So I really don't agree with the base being chosen. I guess he just does not want to use 300 manpower on a retreat point and wants the safety of the base. So finally, he manages to capture the point, and the Universal Carrier is up to 6 kills, almost up to about 1, but it needs repairs, and right now the British don't really have that much fuel, and they don't have the platoon command post upgraded, even though he does have the resources for the battle group headquarters, so I really don't know, well, not battle group headquarters, platoon command post, so I really don't know why he isn't bringing it up. The Brand Carrier should be brought along with the rest of the infantry. Right now, the VP situation is completely in favor of the Germans. He really should be working on getting some units out on the field and capping. Especially needs to capture this munitions point and also the victory points, because right now he needs to get some kind of map presence, or else he will fall way too behind the Germans. And, again, the Brand Carrier isn't doing anything. It should be brought along the left side to support engagements. It cannot cap. And it is defending this area, but the point belongs to the Germans anyway, so really there's nothing to defend against. Because right now the Germans have really no interest in making a push here, but it looks like they will do anyway with a Shrek, so just to try and take out the Universal Carrier. And luckily for the Germans, they find the Universal Carrier still there. Again, if the Universal Carrier had been moved, that wouldn't have happened at all, so it would have been a pretty wasted push of 2 units on the side of that. There's nothing defending it. So it looks like the infantry sections will at least be able to capture this house, and will start to pour down some fire on the Volksgrenadiers. That will definitely deal some heavy damage to them, but it looks like an incendiary grenade will force them out of the house, along with the Sturm Pioneers. This infantry section might actually just go down. We have 5 infantry sections coming in from the British. Now that is way, way, way too much. Honestly, the infantry sections are just too much, because he should have upgraded the sec and gone for a mortar pit, perhaps, and some Royal Engineers with all of his manpower, perhaps even a sniper. Even though the sniper isn't too great on this map, it could have dealt some pretty good damage to the German infantry. It looks like he was able to make the Sturm Pioneers retreat, even though they were at very high HP, and the infantry section will go down from the Volksgrenadiers, which are in open cover for some reason, even though they could have... Okay, so it looks like they were retreat, even though they could have finished off the infantry section. It is literally 1 more shot away from dying. There's some Fallschirmjägers being called off the map, which is a terrible idea. There's just so many buildings on this map. You could have called in the Fallschirmjägers, especially like over here. So we do have a grenade coming in on the other infantry section. Looks like 1 infantry section already went down in some engagement. It looks like it was a wet one too. And that's really, really bad for the British. They really need to get their act together and upgrade the platoon command post and get some kind of units out on the field. The Germans will be looking to get some armor on the field as soon as possible. The MG-34 from the Luftwaffe ground forces is pinning this infantry section, which should really retreat at this point, but it looks like it won't retreat. Nice incendiary grenade will go down on the Vickers machine gun in the church. The church will likely catch on fire anytime soon. I mean, it's been hit by about 3 incendiary grenades, so at this point it will start catching on fire. It looks like it's smoking already. It looks like the Germans are still continuing to improve their map control, which is very, very good on their part. The Fallschirmjägers will be able to take cover behind these cars and possibly wipe the MG. Again, the British should really be working on their unit preservation as much as possible, because he's already lost 2 units, which is really, really bad this early in the game, and really upgrading the platoon command post is very, very top priority. It looks like the British went for tactical support company. Now, this doctrine isn't really too excellent in 1v1s. The only good thing about it is the artillery cover, possibly the air resupply. It just feels like more of a team game focused doctrine to me. And in 2v2 it's actually an excellent doctrine, so that was really good. But yeah, the Luftwaffe ground forces definitely fits the map and the game type better. The Germans have complete VP control, and the Allies are losing VPs very, very fast. If they do not just get control of some VP, they will start to get triple capped, as the Sturm Pioneers are already capturing the 3rd VP. And once they are triple capped, this will be very, very bad. So some nice harassment coming in from the infantry sections. They're actually going to build a trench. but this is pretty good. You might be able to get some map control back and prevent the Germans from having both fuels, which would be horrible. So a bundle grenade went down on some infantry sections and forced them to retreat. At least they weren't wiped. It was a pretty timely retreat. But it looks like a Schwer Panzer headquarters will go down around this area because he does have the fuel for a Schwer Panzer headquarters. And so Bill will likely look to get a Panzer IV on the field as soon as possible. At least that's what I would do, because right now he has complete map control, so he wants to be pushing out an early game, powerful unit that can put a lot of pressure and secure the game for him, which is what he could be doing. Again, there's really no point in having these points if you do not have the cutoff point, which is easily enough seen and remedied, but also the fact that he's keeping units in the houses, while it may increase their defenses in case the Germans decide to counterattack, he really needs map control, so the units shouldn't be standing in houses. They should be spreading out around the map and capping points. Looks like the truck does have the resources now to build the Schwer Panzer headquarters, so it will be pushed up, and likely it will go down over here. Now, it's a very risky location over here. If the British do get an AT gun, they might be able to just snipe the truck. It looks like the Raketenwerfer isn't being put on hold fire against infantry, so the prioritized vehicle should be going down on the Raketenwerfer as soon as possible. I do not know what the truck is doing, but it will likely go and set up very soon. So the trench was built, but it's not being used, which is a bit of a mistake. And an incendiary grenade will go down on the infantry in the house, but it looks like he isn't paying attention. The Zoom command post was finally upgraded. At this point, you could probably just go straight for the... and I cannot click on him. You could probably just go straight for the company command post, tier 3. Looks like the infantry section will be lucky to escape. I'm pretty sure he will die, yep. He does die from the fire of the Volksgrenadiers. Another infantry section moves up to take his place, but again, they're under MG fire and the incendiary grenade will go down just as soon as the cooldown is off, and more Fallschirmjägers are on the field. The infantry section should retreat as soon as possible to avoid being wiped. So what could the British right now do to remedy this situation? Now, they could, as I just noticed that there's no music, sorry. Now, what the British could be doing right now is going for some kind of armor as soon as possible. They haven't had the fuel control for most of the game, but the Germans still aren't very well prepared for Cromwell in case he were to come on the field. Unfortunately for him, a Cromwell would take about 10 minutes at this point to come out, which is just way too much. You really need something to just turn around the game, because it's just such a bad situation. At this point, he finally sees the Schwer Panzer headquarters is building, but he decides to focus his infantry on the Fallschirmjägers and not the building, when the Bren could have torn apart the constructing headquarters and would have been really, really easy to actually smash it down and buy himself some time. So it looks like on the right side, the Germans are pushing up, but the trench is standing in the way, and they're trying to destroy the trench with the trench shots and the Fallschirmjägers, but it won't work out very well. So the Royal Engineers are being upgraded with Brens. I really think that they should have gone on the infantry sections, and right now the Germans are in a pretty commanding position. There's really nothing I think the British can do at this point, unless the Germans make some kind of incredible fuck up. I don't really see how the British can come back. So, talking about what they could have done differently, again, just more map control, more spreading out units instead of sending them into houses, less infantry sections, and more teching up into more advanced units. Be more careful with the MG, Vickers MG. It died somewhere, I have no idea where, and it wasn't recovered ever. Right in the house it died, so in the church actually. And it wasn't recovered. Being more careful in general with units. So we do have the AT gun coming on the field, but it's too little too late. Honestly, the Panzer IV will be coming in fairly soon. And one AT gun isn't enough to just beat back the Panzer IV and push. At the same time, the VPs will soon mean that the British will just likely lose by VP if they don't surrender first. Germans are placing some mines, which is excellent. And again, had there been an earlier tech up to tier 2 for the British, they would have been able to use mines as well. So the AT gun is at least being used to target the Schwer, which is in a very aggressive position, insanely aggressive position. But again, at this point, there's really no time for the British to regain map control. Looks like the incendiary grenade will at least force away the AT gun from the Schwer, just as the pioneers are repairing. Looks like a bundle grenade also went down. And the AT gun crew will burn to death in the most horrible way. Panzer IV is on the field, and this will likely just be the end of the game. I don't see anything coming out of this. Sniper, again, if these units had been called on the field earlier, they might have made the difference, but at this point, there's really nothing they can do. The Panzer IV will go into base, likely just, you know, there's pretty much nothing else to say. So I hope you enjoyed the cast. I hope you learned from this poor player's mistakes. And I hope that you enjoyed, and see you again soon. I'll just show the end of the game and just, yeah.